So there's not a lot of positives. I mean, the one positive I guess that you can glean from this game is the fact that you got some younger kids, a lot more, a lot more time in this game. You liked what you saw that Jovantae Barnes had over right at 100 yards, 18 carries, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. But other than that, there's not a lot of sunshine pumping, or there's not a lot of positivity to glean from this game. And as you look through the remainder of the season, Oklahoma's going to play at least three or four teams that are better than this TCU team that Oklahoma faced today. Um, when you look at Texas next week, when you look at Oklahoma State, when you look at Baylor, um, Kansas is much tougher than they have been in the past. Texas Tech, I'm not sure if they're better than TCU, but um, still, you're in a crossroads right now. I mean, if you're Oklahoma, particularly Venables with this team, knowing what he saw, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, with a team of guys that weren't, didn't put out the effort that you would expect. One of the things as a coach that I tell to my kids, my basketball players all the time is I'm always very interested to see how you do when things go bad. It's easy to be a team guy. It's easy to be a rah guy. It's easy to be excited when things are going well. But what about individually when things go bad? How do you react? Do you mope? Do you cry? Do you complain? Do you make excuses, or do you go, you know, um, or do you go out there and do what needs to be done? Give effort no matter what happens, and same thing as a team. So, as I said, you guys that caught me with Mark, I said this was just a monumentally big game for Oklahoma this year in terms of their chances, their opportunities to potentially play for a Big 12 championship. And so, boy, was I wrong that this is a team that's ready to play or to potentially fight for a championship. They're 0-2 in the Big 12, and you're facing a Texas team that's better on both sides of the ball than TCU, in my opinion. Yeah, they didn't necessarily play incredibly well against Texas Tech last week, but they'll have Quinn Ewers back apparently for that game, and so Oklahoma's coming in with their physically limping into Dallas, so to speak, and then they've got their pride and their manhood questioned to a large degree on what happened today. Oklahoma, you always hear the thought, and I've seen a lot of these tweets and seen a lot of these posts on social media that Venables, he's not playing with his players, which is absolutely true, absolutely without a doubt true. But at the same time, you still have to believe that Oklahoma has better players than TCU. And if Oklahoma doesn't have better players than TCU, if Oklahoma doesn't have better players than Kansas State on either side of the ball, then you're fooling yourself.